What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Eric, one of the two Zap twins, the older one, the analytical one, whatever you want to call it. Wanted to hop in today to talk about a specific topic that a lot of people in the Amazon space were shocked about, and that topic is product liability insurance. First and foremost, this is a disclaimer. I am not somebody that deals with insurance. I went through the process. I learned so that I could teach my students and other people on this channel, for instance, more about it and the process of how and what that looks like. So as you guys know, you guys would have gotten an email probably about 3 months ago now, where Amazon updated their business services solutions agreement, I believe it was. And now people who are doing more than $10,000 in sale per month are going to be required to have product liability insurance. So in this video particularly, again, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what that looks like. And for my Canadian fellows here, my Canadian audience, which I know most of you guys probably are, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what it looks like as a Canadian getting business for your US based or US sales based Amazon business, and what that actually looks like. So without further ado, we'll hop in. If you haven't already, just click the subscribe button, put on notifications. We're going to be trying to do weekly videos. Now, obviously we don't do that all the time, but as much as we can, we'd love to give out free value and free content. Follow us, comment below if you have any questions. And if you are interested in building an Amazon business, have our team work with you to be able to scale that. Whether you're selling on Amazon currently, we work with a lot of people to scale their business, but we also work with startups where we actually go and launch that product with you through mentorship, through guidance, through content, and we help you launch not only one product, but we can help you and teach you to build systems so that you can consistently scale your brand to make it as profitable as possible. So click the link below to book a call with our team, and we'll see you on the inside. All right, you guys, so today we're going to be going over product liability insurance requirements for Amazon. So a lot of you who are currently selling, for those of you who are going and are going to be selling pretty quickly here, something very, very important to be mindful of. So about 3 months ago, Amazon released an email out to everybody that has a current Amazon Seller Central account about a new update to their terms of service, which basically indicates that if you're doing more than $10,000 in sales per month, you are required to actually to obtain and retain product liability insurance requirements, or product liability insurance for your products. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, this essentially allows you as a business a peace of mind in terms of if a customer gets hurt with your product and they sue Amazon or they sue you, you have insurance to be able to cover that. Now, in the past, this was very untypical for smaller brands. This was very untypical for even some bigger brands, but Amazon is doing this to protect themselves as global e-commerce sales go skyrocketing, and as things get busier and busier, I think this is just one of their layers of support that they want in order for their customers to have a peace of mind, but also their sellers to have a peace of mind, because I'm sure that there's been tons of claims against this. Probably, there's more people that got away with it as opposed to not, but insurance is always very important. It's just like us driving our vehicles. We need to have insurance should anything happen. If we go traveling, we get travel insurance so that if anything does happen, we have something that protects us. Well, as business owners, it's a smart idea to always get insurance to protect you from any liability that could potentially happen. Because at the end of the day, what you pay for insurance could really outweigh the cost of a potential lawsuit or something that could, in the long run, actually impact or potentially get rid of your brand. And we don't want that for you guys. So today I'm actually just going to break down quickly a little bit more about these requirements as a whole, what the terms of service actually looks like, and then also talk to specifically people who are in Canada, because I went through this exercise having to get it for multiple brands. I went through the exercise of, dealing with a Canadian broker versus a USA broker and seeing what the cost differentials were, and also repercussion or potential repercussions. Now, I'm not an insurance broker, so don't take my recommendations for word. I would definitely recommend speaking with a broker yourself, speaking with your lawyer to see what those repercussions are should you choose to use a US-based broker, just like we had done. But without further ado, let's hop into it and we'll chat a little bit more about this and the importance of it as you continue to grow and scale your Amazon business or your brand. All right, so as an overview for today, we're going to talk a little bit more about what exactly product liability insurance is, who needs it and why, and we're also going to talk about Amazon's requirements and getting insurance as a whole. So what is product liability insurance? To keep it simple, insurance is always put in place to protect you and others. Again, should there be a lawsuit or should there be something that, for instance, we have a lot of products that get installed into a wall. Maybe something sprays off of our product or chips off of our product and gets into somebody's eye or hurts somebody. Well, they have the ability to potentially sue us. And should that happen, we want to be protected for that particular scenario. Okay. So in this case, to protect you as the brand owner and your customers who purchase your product, ultimately, Amazon will not protect you from the chance that a customer sues you. You want to have that in case that does happen. Again, knock on wood, this doesn't happen to everybody, but should a scenario pop up where that does happen, you don't want to be the person that doesn't have the insurance, especially now that it's a requirement to sell. You'll actually get notifications from Amazon saying, hey, you need to get this done by XYZ date. Otherwise, your selling privileges can actually be revoked. So you want to be very mindful of that and look out for those emails. And as your pinpoint indicator, again, that $10,000 month in sales in the country that you particularly sell in. So for us, our main market with one brand is the United States, for instance. So if we're doing 10K per month in the United States, then we need to, of course, obtain product liability insurance. Okay. If there's recalls on your product and you need to get everything back, this potentially can also cover that as well. So who needs it and why? So requirements, all professional sellers who make over $10,000 per month in their elected country. That's the key word, their elected country. If you're doing $10,000 per month in Canada, well, you need it in Canada. If you're doing $10,000 per month in the United States, well, then you need it in the United States. As soon as you hit that, there's a threshold for 3 months in a row. You are required to provide proof of insurance within a 30-day period. Again, as soon as you hit that 10,000, you're going to get a notification from Amazon saying, hey, you are going to require product liability insurance. This is how you can do it. This is where you can upload it, so on and so forth. And after you hit 3 months in a row, you are required to provide proof of insurance. So they will actually make you upload that exact certificate of insurance or proof of certificate of insurance. I can't exactly remember what it was, but you have a 30-day period to be able to get that done. So something to just keep on the pulse. And then you can do so by uploading it to your Seller Central account. When you're in account settings, you'll be able to actually go in there and there's a section that's called business insurance. That's what you're going to be looking for. This is now defined in Amazon's Business Services Solution Agreement. Amazon's requirements. So insurance requirements, you need to acquire commercial general liability insurance. So brokers are going to refer to this as CGL. It must cover $1 million per occurrence. So on an occurrence base, not on a case base. On an occurrence base, $1 million in aggregate for products and completed operations, and $1 million in the general aggregate. Again, this is all total mumbo jumbo, but this is directly out of their business services agreement. Such insurance must include product liability, products completed operations, bodily injury, personal injury, broad form property damage, and broad form contractual coverage as well. So your threshold that you need is that 1 million USD. So again, if you're selling in USD, then you need 1 million in USD. If you're selling in Canadian, then you need 1 million in Canadian, depending on your actual elected country or the market that you're currently selling in. Getting insurance. So you can speak with any broker. Many will require you to submit information about the business and its products. What products do you sell? Do you have any quality control protocols in place? How many years have you been in business? How much have you sold in the past 12 months? And how much do you forecast to sell in the next 12 months? Okay. Now, on top of that as well, you can speak with any broker. Amazon, if you live in the United States and your business is registered in the United States, you actually have the ability to use Amazon's insurance accelerator, and they can give you some pretty good quick quotes, and they already have all your data in there as well. So you can get some good quotes in there. And there's also a few that I recommend that I'm going to talk about in the later parts of these slides here. Now, the biggest thing that I learned after speaking with many brokers, obviously we have a lot of students, so I wanted to make sure I did my due diligence in understanding, what makes a company more eligible for insurance versus less eligible. And the biggest thing that I kind of took away was, number one, are you running a business or are you just selling products, right? By a business, I mean, are you documenting all of your suppliers? Are you documenting all of your shipments? Are you documenting everything in your actual product base? Do you have designs for your products? Are you have those designs stored in your images? Are you showing exactly what is included? Does that, mitigate any risk of the actual product or discrepancies for people to actually receive those product and not be happy with it? Do you have instructions, right? So this is very important. Instructions are meant to help your customers to install things, to use things, and that will definitely mitigate the risk in actually being injured or potentially something going wrong with that product if they have the use case scenario of how they can use your product or install your product. Quality control procedures. This was something that I found very interesting as well. We have a very good process. Obviously, I save all of my inspection reports. I also save all of the submissions for my inspections. I also document all of the types of tests that my inspector does. Most people will want to know this, especially if you're Canadian. I noticed that with Canadian brokers, it's definitely very hard to get some insurance. But if you have all of these things in place, you're not just running a business that sells products. You're running a business and you truly care about the business and the customers that are within it because you're taking the necessary steps in order to ensure that you're getting a high quality product out to your customers. Okay, so very, very important having a good quality control process, especially when you're sourcing products from overseas in China, for instance. They want to make sure that, hey, you're not just ordering products for the sake of ordering products. You want to have some form of a process in place. Okay, so those are some of the biggest things that we look for. They will also, I had this one broker that started talking to me about, hey, how many months in business how many months have you been doing business with this? Has there been any injuries on site at the actual factory? Do they have a clean record? Do they follow any particular programs such as ISO, such as, Clean Sigma? I think Sigma was one of them, or lean manufacturing, right? That tells a lot to the actual broker or the underwriters that are going to be giving you the insurance, more about who you're partnering with and whether or not they're actually a facility that takes care of their people and also the products that they produce, right? So very important. Also years in business of that actual factory. If they've been in business for 6 months versus somebody that's been in business for 10 years, well, those are very different things. And if you're working with somebody that is very experienced, that will put a lot of those underwriters and insurance brokers at ease when you are, of course, trying to apply and get insurance. All of these questions are here to dictate the cost of insurance and the liability that the insurance company would assume if, of course, insuring you. Ultimately, the more prepared you actually are, the easier it's going to be for you to get that insurance. So definitely do your due diligence, have everything documented, show them your storefront, show them your products, the detail of it, show them your instruction manuals, your QC processes, you name it, give them details, give them the site of your actual manufacturer if you have the ability to do so. Go above and beyond, okay? If you're in the United States, Amazon has some partnered insurance partners that you can actually use. You can find these directly on Seller Central. Again, I believe it's called the Amazon Insurance Accelerator. And then a fan favorite in the industry is Ashlyn Haddon and her team. You can get a quote from her. You can type that in, https://ecom.insure/. I actually partnered with Ashlyn as well. She did a really good job and got me some incredibly low pricing as opposed to some of the brokers that we were working with here in Canada. And they put me at ease because I was actually able to connect with Ashlyn's lawyer to see how we as a Canadian business can partner with a USA-based broker. Okay. You can also speak with other brokers you are recommended to or know, or just reach out to anybody that you may, of course, know or want to actually get to know. So a few things as a Canadian, again, it's more challenging to definitely get this, but there's a few things that you have to consider. If you are working with a Canadian broker, be prepared to pay more. If you sell over 75% of sales in the USA, then if you worked with a USA broker, okay? So the biggest thing here is that as soon as you start selling more sales internationally in the United States, if you're a Canadian business, well, then, it becomes very expensive because they're now assuming risk for sales that are made outside of the country that you're getting insured on. Number two, insurance companies only go up by $1 million in threshold. So again, if you sell the majority in the USA, you need $1 million USD of insurance. But because you're getting $1 million Canadian in insurance here in Canada, if you were to partner with a Canadian broker, that means that you actually have to go up to 2 million because that's the next bucket of threshold. 1 million Canadian won't be enough to pass Amazon's requirements. You do have an option to use a USA-based insurance company, but you need, number one, a USA EIN. For all my students, you will already have this. And then B, a US-based mailing address. An EIN is an employer identification number, which essentially tells the IRS that, hey, I'm a Canadian business, but I am an employer of the United States and I sell products in the United States. And the reason why you need a USA-based mailing address is because when you do, of course, get that insurance, when you submit that quote, USA underwriters and insurance brokers will need to have a USA address on there in order to get that. All right, so if you are in Canada, you can consider 3 of these different options as well. Zen Insurance, Aligned Insurance, and Fuse Insurance. I've had a few friends and few people in my network that have partnered with these people as well. Some of them got reasonable quotes. I did not, so it's completely dependent on the products that you sell. For instance, selling something in children's or in something topical for your face or health and beauty, or something in supplements or toys. Very hard to get insurance in any aspect, just because there's a lot more risk to it as soon as something is indigestible or put on your skin. And toys, of course, with kids, there's a lot of liability that is assumed with that. If you are in BC, comment below. I can email you a direct contact as well, which is an insurance broker that was very, very helpful. His name is Adam, and I can definitely put you in contact with Adam if you are looking to partner with specifically a BC or Alberta contact and an insurance broker. He already went through the process with me, and a lot of these points in here I actually got from him. So he was very, very useful. Alternatively, again, Ashlyn Haddon, you can get those quotes there as well. She has a lawyer that can help you get that US-based address and EIN if you want to absolutely go that route. And then getting insurance. So if you are a Canadian and you are looking to get a US mailing address, you can get a free one actually at Montana Mailbox. My friend Mike Sieben, he runs Elite Wholesale, actually told me about this company that you can get a free address there, and that's exactly what I did, and I used that for my insurance as well. Keep in mind, you will eventually need to update the back end of your Seller Central to the new address, but you do not need to do this right away. So that's something that I learned as well. I hope this lesson was useful for you guys, and until next time, let's see you on the inside.